Every year, Amnesty International publishes a report which evaluates the human rights situation in countries around the world to enable government and policymakers put in place measures to improve same. This year, the report on the human rights situation in Ghana looked at the cases of excessive use of force, prisons being overcrowded, the continuous discrimination and gender-based violence women suffer, amongst others. It also highlighted the attack on LGBT persons, efforts made at vaccinating at-risk persons and essential workers against COVID-19, and forced eviction, which left some persons homeless.
On 29 June, police and military forces shot dead 2 protesters and wounded 4 others during a protest in Ejura Setre Edumase in the Ashanti region. A 3-member ministerial committee commissioned to conduct a public inquiry into the incident submitted its report to the government in July. In December, various media reported that youth beat to death an elderly woman in Nalerigu in the northeast region because they suspected her of being a witch. In March, COVID-19 vaccinations began for people at risk and essential workers, with drones being used to deliver vaccines to rural communities in Ghana. On 7th May, the Vice President, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, stated that 2,161 prisoners, prison officers, and 1,136 inmates with underlying health conditions had been vaccinated.
The Greater Accra Regional Minister, Henry Korte, since assuming office, has undertaken several demolition of illegal structures in the capital, rendering some squatters homeless, under a campaign dubbed Make Accra Work Again. On 5th July last year, a demolition exercise at the railway quarters along Graphic Road left some squatters homeless. According to Amnesty International Ghana, undertaking a demolition exercise without prior notice to the affected persons is unlawful and a clear violation of their human rights.
What we want government to understand, that if you know that this parcel of land is earmarked for something, you don't wait for the people to live on the land for several years, then you come back to tell them that they are occupying a wrong place. There is an indication that having stayed on a particular parcel of land for a number of years, maintaining the land and so on and so forth, you have the right to live there. But where we live, government is always thinking that I always have the power and therefore I can do whatever pleases me. The Greater Accra Regional Minister, what's wrong? Number one, for failing to follow eviction law. If you want to evict people, you discuss with them, I'm taking you to this place, I am providing you A, B, C, D, is a place habitable for human beings. The very moment you do that, nobody have a problem with you, but you don't use force to demolish. You agree with me, where we live, even giving compensation to people who have been wrongfully evicted is also an issue.
Board Chairman of Amnesty International, George Agri, says, per the report, the government still has a lot more to do at protecting and respecting the rights of citizens.
This goes to remind the government that you still have a lot of work to do as far as human rights issues are concerned. You agree with me of the issue of equality, the LGBTI, and all these issues are still on the table that we are talking about. And for LGBTI, you know, the bill in Parliament is being worked on. So we need to remind the government. So this is a reminder to the state and for that matter Ghanaians that these issues are still happening. We don't know what will happen this year if other journalists are going to be brutalized. So with this in mind, the government will be careful. Look, state securities, be careful with your actions. Last year we experienced A, B, C, D, and this year we don't want to go on that tangent.